are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport Feel Good Friday. 6 days till the tailgate. Lot to talk about. Barnes and Tony once again. Pollen in the air. But thank you to Tony, the Allegra D, to the rescue. What's going on, man?
Not much, dude. Stoked to be here. Stoked that it's Friday. This week feels like it just dragged on forever, to be honest, dude. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was, but I am sorry that you are dealing with some allergies here, the pollen. But I mean, it happens, dude. Hopefully, the pill kind of kicks in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
You're inside now, AC. There's no pollen in this room.
It
okay,
feels
Brian?
hot as shit because I'm wearing pants versus the shorts.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah,
I am wearing the shorts. I know people at home can't see the shorts and the Birks.
The Birks.
A lot of airflow, dude. A lot of airflow.
And honestly, if I had the time to wait on hold for a half hour, and I'm sure maybe not, it's always a half hour, but usually there's usually on DNR there's the Friday morning roast, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling you about this, before the show, but it would definitely be to roast game time tickets. Was waiting to get tickets because I know with baseball you just wait till closer to the game, you get good deals, this and that. So I bought them yesterday morning. Got an email, so we're working on 26 hours since I got the email. Tickets are ready. I've clicked on the link to transfer them to my Ticketmaster account because I bought them on Game Time, but they're Ticketmaster tickets, yada yada yada. I've tried that probably 45, 50 times. I've called customer service 4 or 5 times. No clarity on what's going on. Looking into it, give it time. Different browsers, incognito mode.
Classic.
So just a bunch of nonsense. And yet the last resolution was, oh, yeah, we're going to see if the seller, will resubmit the tickets. I would try the new link we're going to send you in 3 to 5 hours. So this is after it's already been 26 hours. Now they want me to give it another 3 to 5 hours. And it's just like, I really wish at this point they would just refund me and I could just get new tickets. Like the fact that this keeps dragging on, I mean, it's so obvious that there's some, questionable ethical things going on here with this person who's selling the tickets. Like I've never had a problem. I've bought tickets to so many different games. And you're telling me one time, it's just a technical glitch. I mean, definitely not. I mean, it's definitely that this person is trying to get away with, getting the money and going to the game, whatever you want to call it. So that's just a bunch of nonsense. So I know it'll get resolved, but it's just one of those things you just want set. You want the tickets in the wallet done. I don't want to have to before the game be on the phone with customer service tomorrow.
Do you know? Do you have like access to the person who's selling the tickets?
No,
you can't email. Nothing.
No.
That's tough, dude.
But it's never been a problem.
Right,
and to be honest, I wish that they would just refund me as well because, like I said, the tickets keep going down. Literally, I mean, I've tracked this more than any other game. I think for regular season baseball games, I'm just gonna literally day of or day before buy the tickets because it's just the prices have literally got chopped in half. And I think, and I was talking about this yesterday with a couple of people, and it's I think it's just because the baseball stadiums are so big. There's so many seats. So as we get closer to the game, so many different things happen. People can't go to the game. We're hoping to get more for the tickets. They can't. They drop the prices because they can't go themselves.
Right.
This and that. So it definitely doesn't make sense ever to buy tickets far in advance unless it's somebody who is selling them for way less than they should be. But why would you do that so far out from the event? So that's one thing I've learned. So I know this will get resolved. But definitely a pain in the ass, right?
It's just, and not only a pain in the ass, but it just seems very, unnecessary.
Right.
You know?
It's just refund me and, ban whoever is selling these tickets.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's really odd. I don't know. Hopefully, are you gonna call back again later? Is that the plan?
I mean, it has to be set today. I'm not going into tomorrow having to deal with this.
Yeah.
And when I talk to them later, I'm basically going to demand that they just refund me because then I could get better tickets anyway. So it's like I don't want to have to deal with this. So we'll see. But that was kind of my little Friday
roast,
morning roast. Yeah,
there we go.
First time.
You should try to call in because I feel like they do get. They do a lot of the roasts. Yeah.
I know. You know what? I guess it's just other times I've tried to call them and it's just such a long wait. I just want to be able to call and just be on.
Yeah,
I know
very
that's
true.
not how it works.
That's not
I
how it
get
works.
it. But that's just.
I just want to be on, dude.
That's just kind of my piece there. But there are a lot of comments before we get to everything. I mean, it might be the whole show just reading comments, but I guess if you want to start there.
Yeah, why not, dude? And we do have the Friday faithful here in the comments section here, Bukta, which. Pretty sure changed his name, right? It wasn't always just Bukta. I think he lost the Michael.
It's just because everybody calls him Bukta.
Bukta, yeah, dude. It's a stage name.
Ernie calls him that. That's why,
dude.
Too.
Tony, what happened to the 4-0 lead yesterday against the Dodgers, buddy? Yes, the Mets did blow it yesterday, but there's a lot of silver linings here. And he says, in the words of Ernie here, speaking of Ernie, it's no one's fault why the Mets, no one else's fault, I should say, why the Mets suck. Which is a little bit crazy to say they suck. In any case here, Bukta says, Barnes, Jimmy and I were chatting last night in the group chat and I had some contact late night with Josh B, Kev Du, and OC?
I don't know. I don't know what OC is.
I don't know who OC is. Oh, he says, of course. Sorry.
Oh, of course, Ernie.
Comment, of course. Ernie as well. Also, 2 beers last night at Applebee's. Hammered, dude, he says. What do you think those beers were?
Get hammered. What beers he got at Applebee's?
Applebee's at, Blue Moon, maybe? I think they got Blue Moon.
Maybe. He seems more like a light beer guy, like a Corona or something. Right?
Yes, dude. Then we have Jimmy Bukta in here, who's, I think, maybe having a rough morning, dude. He says, Tony, it's not your fault the Mets suck. The Yankees are your daddy. You know it. What happened to blowing a 4-8 lead yesterday? Also beat 2 out of 3. I mean, the Bukta tandem here, it's nice. I guess you guys are doing something together. But I mean, the Mets are tied for the second best record in baseball right now. You split a series with one of the best teams in the league. And yes, we're a couple shots in the foot here. But the Mets certainly don't suck. And then he goes in deeper, dude. Says, what happens with that Pete Alonso throw home to get us out? I don't know what he's referring to, by the way. In the Yankee, I guess the Yankee game then.
Yankees, yep.
You need to stop being mean to Michael. Which I don't know if I would have been mean to Michael. And he says,
I heard something about a gaming corner or something. You're kind of fucking with him. That's what Michael was saying. The other Michael.
I don't know. I was just, maybe.
I wasn't there.
Listen, dude. You talk shit. You got to be able to get,
talk shit, get hit.
Exactly. If you're gonna dish it out, you got to be able to take it here.
Like Kev Du, obviously can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kev Du can't take it, dude. And I guess he's telling Michael to behave better. I don't know which Michael he's talking to now. Also, it says shave the mustache and beard and lose some goddamn weight, he says. Again, referring to me, I think.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I think so. But obviously, that's ridiculous.
I think maybe Jimmy's figured out the combination to the parents' liquor cabinet maybe this morning, hitting the bottle pretty early, dude. And then he's singing some songs. Tony's so mean to me, he says. Josh B says, what up, fam? What's up, Josh B? And then Bukta says, whoa, Jimmy, let's not fat shame here. That's going too far. Yes, I love picking on the Mets, but fat shaming is going too far. Less than a week to the tailgate, Bukta says. At the end of the day, Tony is our man, even if he is a Met fan. And then Jay Bird says, is Jimmy like an alter ego of Bukta? Unfortunately, Jay Bird, that's Jimmy. Jimmy is Michael's younger brother.
I guess he never met him at the horseshoe or anything.
No, definitely not. Take a look in the mirror, he says, Jimmy. Hurt people. Mets for life. At least Mets fans didn't get blown out by the Dodgers, 18-2. And then Michael Theophilus says, GOAT sports show of all time. Tony has to be nice to me. I guess I've just been a total fucking asshole, I guess, for quite some time.
Very facetious.
Very facetious, dude. I had a request song to sing Tony being nice to me. That's what they're referring to. Jimmy needs to be nice to Tony. Oh, I remember that. Gaming Corner, the song.
Yes, Tony.
Tell him, Jay. Oh, I guess, yeah. With no Tony here on Wednesday, I guess Michael was just able to spill whatever nonsense he wanted. And this is it, dude. I guess you reap what you sow now. All right? This is it.
Wow. Come on.
Come on, dude.
Good.
Not good at all, dude. Not good. Not good at all. But we're basically caught up on the comments there. What a whirlwind, dude. What a way to kick off our Friday.
Oh man, and I was telling you about this before. I forgot how it even started. But you know, I guess I keep breaking my own rules. So I guess maybe I just need to be honest with myself that I'm not gonna like hold to it about not arguing with Mets fans. And I forgot how it got started, but it was funny. You know, obviously Patty from Schenectady, of course.
Of course.
And he would just, I don't know, he posted something. I forgot how we got on the subject about the announcers, but it was like, he kind of was asking for it because I think Colin was getting the chuckle out of it too. But he's like citing something because I was saying like, listen, like I know you guys like don't want to hear it, but like I don't understand how anybody could say, oh, I know what it was because we found out Michael K was going to the tailgate, and I was like, I don't know how anybody could say like the Mets announcers are the best. And you know, I said my usual thing about you know the stuff he knows and Keith being high and all that stuff, and then you know, Patty cites something like, oh, in a poll, because I was saying that, you know, they're self-proclaiming that they're the best broadcast booth, and then Patty cites some poll that 13,000 people voted in that said they were the best broadcasting team, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a really big representation of all the Major League Baseball fans, right? But yeah, it was kind of a crazy back and forth, you know, but that's usually how it is with Cold Take. And then me and Kev do a little bit yesterday, but again, he wasn't making sense. And what happened was, you know, I was on the golf course, and then I was, you know, following along to, you know, JD's show on Instagram Live, and then, you know, he starts his like just usual stuff, like just, you know, propping up the Mets, and then just saying the thing again about the whole like when you were born, not suffering through bad years, this and that. So I just got on, had to set him straight. So there was like a little back and forth there. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's just something that's, you know, never gonna end, apparently.
Josh Beat.
But what do you mean Josh Beat?
Like, because he always says to you, don't antagonize, don't even you know, give him the time of day, but you do every time.
Coming in hot. You know, I just think if it doesn't make sense, I mean, why let him say it? You know? And then I was kind of like getting on JD and Tommy a little bit. I'm like, you guys, like, why are you guys just letting him say this stuff? Like, you're not even responding. And I guess Tommy said he's just waiting for like, which I know you're not gonna like to hear this, but like just that stretch where the Mets like fall apart. Then to say something.
Don't hold your breath, Tommy.
That's what he was saying. So
Tommy had a roast this morning.
Oh, really? What was the roast?
He was roasting people that were like that screwed up like phrases. I forget which one he said, but he said like hitting the nail on the head. Where like, I guess there were people that were like, kind of fucking it up, or like firing on all cylinders. Was another phrase I forget, or clicking. Yeah, clicking on all cylinders. Like people who say those phrases wrong, like clicking on all cylinders as opposed to firing, like. Really bothers him.
Gotcha.
Roasted,
no, he's always been very big, like pronunciations, phrases.
Fascinating.
But it really is fascinating.
No, yeah, it was a good roast.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Anyhow, you know, you know, a lot to get to, but just wanted to give an update from Toronto.
Oh, there we go.
Yesterday, you know, you had two co-leaders, Cristobal de Solar, who had the lowest round in a PGA Tour sanctioned event on the Corn Ferry Tour at 57 yesterday, opens with the 61, as well as our friend Thorben Olsen, also shooting a 61 yesterday. Currently, though, Cameron Champ has a one-shot lead over Olsen and de Solar at 11 under par. Champ through 11 holes today, started on the back. Olsen through 12. De Soler through 6. You also have Jake Knapp, who's 3-shot back at 8 under par through 10. Ryan Fox at 7 under. Tony's pick Shane Lowry at 7 under par as well. 4 shots back. You know, and as we work our way down the list, Wyndham Clark tied for 12th at -5. Cam Young 4 under, tied for 20th. And I think you know, Bob McIntyre, defending champ, -3. And I believe Rory didn't have the best day yesterday either. He was +1. He'll tee off at 12:55. You know, so a lot of golf to be played here, but definitely, you know, some lesser names here at the top. And I guess we don't have a projected cut line just yet. I actually wanted to see here too how Mike Weir.
It's tough, dude. I know.
The Clarendon +1 for Mike Weir, so tied for 117th. So
What is it with you and Clarendon?
No, just because you did the video.
Allegra.
Oh. Robitussin, right?
Basically,
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly. Kaliev. Anyhow, Tony, let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yep, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drill deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Yankees win.
Yes, sir. The Yankees winning their 8th out of 9th series yesterday at the stadium, returning the favor, literally a match the dealer situation on the Guardians from Wednesday night, winning 4-0. Max Fried, what do you know? Picking up another W.
Dialed.
He now sits at 8-1, pitching 6 scoreless innings, only giving up 1 hit. Striking out 7 and walking 2. So a huge start for Max Fried. I believe he had at least 25 pitches in the first inning, but really settled down after that. And it was good to see the Yankee offense get going as well. Cody Bellinger and Jazz Chisholm were the stars of the show yesterday. You look at the numbers here. Cody Bellinger, who also robbed a home run in right field with Judge playing DH, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and his 9th home run, 35 ribbies in the season. Jazz also, went 3 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. And overall, the Yankees had 10 hits and were 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So the type of effort that you want to see. And when you look, into the nitty gritty, of things here, there wasn't much to speak of in terms of offense. The first couple innings, the Guardians did have 2 on in the first inning on an infield single and a walk. Fried able to navigate around that. Yankees reached with a Judge hit by pitch in the bottom of the first, but 1, 2, 3 innings in the second inning on both sides. Third inning, another situation where it was 1, 2, 3 again, and top of the fourth, Max Fried was really dialed in, striking out Jose Ramirez, getting David Fry to fly out, and got Carlos Santana to the ground to third. Fourth inning, Yankees finally find pay dirt here after Ben Rice grounded out. Aaron Judge a double to right, so he gets on base, and then Cody Bellinger homers to right center, 398 feet. Giving the Yankees a 2-0 lead, and that's the only offense they would really need. They would tack on a couple more runs later. But Max Fried, like I said, dialed 1, 2, 3 again in the 5th. Yankees threaten in the bottom of the 5th. This was disappointing. Wells singles and Oswald Peraza singles. And, it was nice to see that out of Peraza. He hasn't had many multi-hit games, but I believe 2 hits yesterday. And then Trent Grisham walks. So you got the bases loaded, nobody out. Ben Rice up. Of course, the unlucky, he's one of the league leaders in exit velocity, grounding into double play. Second baseman comes home, back to first.
That was a great play.
And then they walk Judge, so bases loaded, Bellinger up. You're thinking maybe connects with it pretty good, but it's, flies out to deep center. So nothing across there. You were hoping that wouldn't come back to bite. Max Fried, very workmanlike in the 6th inning, 1, 2, 3. It really had that curveball working. I don't know if you saw any of the highlights, but the 12-6 drop on that, unbelievable. So Fried, I believe, was right around 100 pitches. I think maybe right exactly at 100 pitches. And
103.
I was texting in the group chat with JD and everyone yesterday. Like, if they let him go, he could have finished this game through 140 pitches. He'd be fine. Obviously, you don't want to stretch out somebody that long at this point in the season. 6th inning, Yankees threaten again. Jazz, so we mentioned his 3 hits yesterday, a single to center. He steals second base, and then moves to third on a throwing error. So the value of speed once again, but unfortunately, Jason Dominguez strikes out and Austin Wells flies out. 7th inning, Mark Leiter gives up a leadoff single to Jose Ramirez. He strikes out David Fry. Gives up a single to Carlos Santana, and then Arias grounds into a fielder's choice, but there's a throwing error by Anthony Volpe, so you're thinking, oh, geez, bases loaded, 1 out. The Yankees can give up the lead here. Tim Hill coming in, and coming into this game, I believe batters were 0 for 12 against him with the bases loaded. Make that 0 for 14 as Bo Naylor strikes out and he gets Jaquenzi Noel to fly out to right. And I was actually watching this game at Vinny's in Stanford. They had the pinstripe ale on tap, so it was perfect. But literally directly across from me, Yankee game. Obviously, most of the TVs had the NBA on, but obviously I wasn't paying too much close attention to that. But really unbelievable. Tim Hill, what a job he's done. And then of course, in the group chat, people were talking about the 0 for 14 statistic, and then obviously bringing up the World Series, this and that. And then I was it was kind of a controversial statement. It may be okay. I should have said one of the worst, but I was saying because it made me think of it. Obviously, Game 1 of the World Series, Nestor in. Like I said, that was like the worst decision in franchise history. But I mean, has to be one of the worst, just because we all know, they could talk about numbers, spin rates, this and that. I mean, that was like an emotional thing, bringing Nestor in at that point. Give him his moment. You don't give somebody a moment in the bottom of the 10th inning in the World Series, obviously.
And you also just don't do it just for the sake of.
Right, when you have a guy who's shown he could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, Tim Hill, these hitters, it seems like, 80-something miles an hour, I should be able to hit this out. No. I mean, the movement, the arm angle, they're just not used to it. So kudos to him. He actually pitched 1 2/3 innings. Bottom 7, though, Yankees tack on Peraza again with a hit. Grisham grounds into a fielder's choice. Rice lines out. They intentionally walk Judge. So you got first and second here, 2 outs, but Bellinger singles to right. Scores Trent Grisham, and then Jazz comes up, singles. So Jazz making an impact, playing great defense at third, running around the bases, and just seems like he's really seeing the ball better here since he's come back for the injured list. So that was great to see. Anthony Volpe with a single, but they have to hold Bellinger at third, and then unfortunately Jason Dominguez flies out. So 4-0, 8th inning. Tim Hill still in, Tony, and what do you know? Another 1, 2, and 3 inning. Unbelievable what he's done. So bottom 8, the Yankees go down in order. Wells strikes out. Peraza flies out. Grisham lining out to second. Jonathan Loaizaga in at the 9th. Devin Williams warming, but 4-run lead. Not a safe situation. Huge strikeout of Jose Ramirez to start the inning. And I think that was the turning point where you felt like you weren't going to sweat it out. Because obviously Jose Ramirez, always a threat. And, him hitting one down the line, the speed. I'm sure we could see him stealing third base. That's when things could go awry. They don't. Kyle Manzardo flies out to left. And then Carlos Santana grounding out to first. So the Yankees taking this one, their 38th victory of the season, 38-23 now, 20-10, 5.5 games up in the American League East. 8th and 9th series, like we said. So it was just a nice bounce back win for the Yankees, and a nice bounce back performance from Max Fried, who got roughed up a little bit his last start in Dodger Stadium. So you love to see it. And the Guardians had won 2 out of 3 at their park, so nice to return the favor here at Yankee Stadium. Just gear up for the weekend. Obviously, I can't wait to go to the game tomorrow, but just always fun playing the Boston Red Sox for 3 games, all night games. So 7:05 tonight, 7:35 tomorrow, and then another 7:05 Sunday Night Baseball. So back-to-back weeks on Sunday Night Baseball. And the Red Sox struggling right now. As they are 9.5 games back here. Just seems like the season is slipping away. 4 under 500. Rays and Blue Jays both 5.5. They've actually been playing some better baseball. Rays 7-3, came back in the 9th, I think 3 down against Texas today. And then also Toronto's 8-2. And the Orioles all of a sudden are winning games. They've won 6 in a row, but are still 11 games under 500. It was just one of those games where, there was just a lot to like. And then, you hear news too about Stanton getting closer. Maybe by the end of the month, he'll be back in the lineup. So that just adds a whole other element, to the situation. It was just refreshing to see. And you feel like you have an opportunity for a potential sweep this weekend against Boston. But of course, the goal remains the same, winning series. So, obviously they hope to do that.
Then you'll have 9 out of 10, dude.
Yeah. I mean, which is obviously pretty good.
I'd say that's really good.
Yeah. So
It's pretty good. What do you think the lineup's gonna be looking like when Stanton comes back? You said end of the month he'll be back?
Yeah. It's just gonna be a rotation.
Yeah.
But also too, I've been calling for this. And listen, like I know he's played well. He's had clutch hits for us. But I think it is going to be time, and especially when that happens, to really reduce the playing time of Trent Grisham, because it's eating into Jason Dominguez playing time. And I know he's not lighting the world on fire, hanging in there, but it's just like I think I just want him getting consistent at bats every game. And like Grisham, I think we'll have to play less, but it's going to be a rotation. Goldschmidt's going to get a night off. I think still, I know we like the framing and stuff, but really Ascara, should go. So Ben Rice could get that start at catcher, get a start at first base, get a start at DH for Stanton, maybe 2 starts. So I think that's how, they're going to work it in. And like we always say, it's a good problem to have too many guys. So that's really my thoughts here. Love what Fried and the bullpen did. Love what Jazz is doing too. I mean, really energetic. And this is what I've been talking about. You could just see it with Jazz. He has the utmost ability. It's just all about putting it together, all about staying focused. But he can be a big reason for the Yankees' success this year. I think especially too, third base has been a problem. He plays it very well. And then his speed. I mean, there's not many runners in the league that are faster than Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah, that's right, dude. And honestly, like, I think that speed is a little bit underrated around MLB. You know,
because you think about some, other guys. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, O'Neal Cruz,
right.
Those type of guys. But Jazz, I think I like him against any of those guys.
Yeah, dude. Sure. I mean, to have that ability on the bases to go from like first to home on like a deep single, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. So tonight at the stadium, a lot of W's. Walker Buehler versus Will Warren. You don't usually see that 3 out of the 4 letters in the first and last names for the starting pitchers.
Honestly, fuck Buehler, dude.
Fuck Buehler. I told you that he was going to get hammered. 4.44 ERA this year. Obviously, Warren numbers inflated the outing last time against the Dodgers. 5.19 earned run average. So I think some runs are going to be scored in this game. I think the total's a little low here at 8.5. I like the over. And hopefully, like I've said with Warren many times, 5 to 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. And I'm sure that the offense, will back him up. So looking forward to that.
Buehler ejected.
Sox, always fun. Buehler may be ejected. Who knows, Tony?
I mean, he was against the Mets. You remember that?
Yeah.
Bitchin'.
So yeah, I'm pumped for that. I mean, that's really what I have here. And before we get to the Mets, I believe a couple more comments. Ernie.
Ernie, yes, in the building says, "What's good, my people?" Seeing Max Fried says, "Looking on fire, coding looking fried." I love it. Bellinger did look good, dude. Obviously, the bat and he had that nice catch early on, right? Up against the wall in the outfield.
I mean, and he even said to start off the season, pressing, trying to do too much. You could tell it, you could see it when he's playing now, very relaxed, taking good swings, being patient at the plate. I mean, Cody Bellinger has talent. I mean, that's why he won an MVP. He's another guy that the speed, the defense, again, I mean, all about just putting it together.
He's definitely been spending a lot of time with Jazz as well, the extracurriculars, dude.
Yes, whatever it takes, right? Some people are better high,
Downtime TV comments, Ernie equals GOAT, dude.
Ernie.
Which was Michael Theophil. And then Michael Theophil asking Jimmy to apologize to me, dude. Don't even worry about it. It's fine, dude. Ernie.
If you want to do that, I mean, that's fine.
I mean, if you want to, that's fine, I guess, dude. But Ernie, loving Michael, the dose of chamomile tea with the touch of honey, dude. Are we doing black tea again today?
This is black tea, Ernie. Should I go chamomile next time? Honestly, I'm not. And by the way, I had another tea after the show yesterday because the throat was still bothering me. With green tea, almost threw up.
Really,
stomach
dude?
wasn't full enough. then had the RX bar, was fine. But I really don't like green tea. Just bothers me. It makes me nauseous. I don't know. Unless I have a full stomach.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude. 'Cause I do enjoy green tea.
Yeah.
Are we doing the honey or no?
Yep. They put the honey in.
And way better?
Fine.
Not enough honey?
No, just fine. I honestly, this is out of necessity. Tea, like I said, it's just okay. Plus, I think I'm really an iced person when it comes to tea and coffee. Ice seems to be always better. The cappuccino hot is good. Other than that, I feel like I don't really need hot beverages other than I guess if it's like, I guess if it's really cold out,
Okay. And then John Pollock split with the White Sox. Tough. Have to go on to deal with the Cubs now.
Yeah.
Cubs, great team right now. Hottest team, also tied for the second best record in baseball.
But you know what? I mean, it's the quirks of the season, John.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, and obviously we struggled with Colorado barely winning that series. But like I said, the Orioles. I mean, one of the worst teams in the league, 6 in a row. I mean, it's just like stuff happens. That's it.
And he goes on to say here, sucks that we're dropping games to teams that are under 500. You never want to do that. But all the credit to the White Sox pitchers. They gave us a hard time. And Ernie says, chamomile tea is for men, Barnes. We're good.
I don't get what he's saying.
Like, I think he's trying to say you're not a man, maybe?
No, but I'm saying, is he saying that chamomile, is he actually being serious, or is it like a Tony facetious?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like chamomile tea is like, even though it maybe sounds feminine, if you want to go that way, it's still like good tea. It's good for you, it's legitimate.
Yeah. You know what's actually kind of funny too, because I talked about Ernie this a while ago. I think he's mentioned on here. I thought anyway. I know he talked about it with JD and stuff, but how like I forgot what the time frame was, but he just lost a lot of weight and stuff. So I know he had some good pointers. So and it made me think of it because yesterday some memory came up that was at Yankee Stadium with Brandon, Pooch, and Benny like 11 years ago. So some pictures came up, and it was just funny at that time. I didn't really feel like I was in good shape or anything, but then looking at it, I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm gonna take that in a second. So what I'm getting at, Tony, is because obviously JD has his personal training. Would love like a little like combo, a couple pointers, ideas.
That'd be nice.
It really is just so it's just such a challenge. But and then like you think about it like right now, let's have a great week next week, golf tournament next week, the tailgate, the game tomorrow. I mean, it's just like there's always something, but I guess it just kind of priorities, right? I mean, at the end of the day, obviously you can still do those things, but you don't need to overextend. But what are the chances that you're not? Right? I mean,
it's tough, dude. Especially, I mean, the food really is the worst part of it.
But the drinking, like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm saying to stay consistently healthy with your food.
It is. But what I'm saying also on top of it is like, obviously we couldn't do that. Like, I mean, we're similar. Maybe even you would notch up. But like, just to think about what a difference it would make to like not drink for like 2 months.
I know, dude.
It just like, remember we had that conversation like years ago with Michael. Like, it's just like, what's the perfect time? And then there's always a reason. Well, summer, dude.
Yeah,
but
summer you can't really do it, dude. Yeah. But the holidays, dude. The holidays are coming up, dude. It's holiday season.
As Matthew would say, happy holidays.
And it's tough too with the beer. I mean, obviously the Guinness. I mean, it's like drinking a loaf of bread.
And it's like, believe me, like, because I know, the vodka, less calories. You don't want me drinking vodka, okay?
Don't I though?
No, you don't. You definitely don't.
Wait,
did we? I think Josh M. Haven't heard from him in a while.
M says, "Let's go. Hope you guys are doing well." Yes, Josh, we are. Hope you are as well. And then Fish Boy says, "Thank goodness Scooball is pitching tonight, dude."
Big.
I mean, it's basically a win.
Yeah,
ridiculous that guy.
So really, I think that's where we're at. And then let's see here. From Toronto, it looks like Champ now has a 2-shot lead over Thorben Olsen, and Solar has bogeyed the fall to 8 under. So I got the feed on here. Keep an eye out. I saw Rose is at 1 under par as well.
I think Lowry honestly is about to blow up, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see it.
He missed like a putt for par, and you saw, dude, the body language immediately, hand on the hip, other hand in the air, and then following tee shot, shanks it in the rough. And that's exactly what happens to him, dude. I mean, he's got to figure it out, or
definitely
the
an
mental
F-bomb,
game.
I'm sure.
Oh my God, it's a fuck.
How about Josh M said, "Doing good, man. Enjoying my boy Clay Holmes."
There we go.
Pitching over the weekend.
That's right. Yeah, he's pitching not today, but tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. You're saying it today. Clay Holmes tomorrow.
Good segue.
There we go, dude.
Series finale yesterday.
Not
Dodger Stadium. I I mean, tough loss. Obviously, we talked about it in the intro. But what were the, I guess, cliff notes?
Particulars?
Of the game? Yeah.
Cliff notes? Particulars? Yeah,
For a
dude.
lead.
Before a lead early on, you look at it, we had Peterson start against, oh my God, that Landon Knack, dude. Who got popped the first time against, well, not popped, but, obviously didn't go the distance necessary, but gets popped here. The long ball, the big issue. 3 homers early on for him. A solo shot in the second by Alonso, and then back-to-back homers given up to Nimmo and Marte in the third. So Mets go up 3-0 early. Peterson looking good those first 3 innings as well. We'll get to him in a second because some of his stats so far this season are kind of crazy. You even get a Beatty sac fly RBI in the third too. So bad third inning there for Landon Knack. Like I said, you go up 4-0 early on. So you kind of think, again, Rodgers, doesn't matter. It's never in the bag. But you think, wow, this is a great way to start. First 3 innings, 4 runs. Let's keep it going, dude. Peterson, bottom of the third, gets into some trouble here. Dodgers end up on the board here. Starts the inning off by striking out Michael Conforto, which was great, but then walks Rojas. It gives up a single to Ohtani, okay? Betts doubles to center here, which scores Rojas. Ohtani moves to third. Then Smith singles to left. Smith, one of the best. I think he has the best average in the league with runners in scoring position. He's been hitting actually really, really well this season, specifically with runners on base. Teoscar grounds out, fielder's choice. They try to turn 2. They don't turn 2 because of that. Betts is able to score, and then, of course, you get Paez to line out to right. So, Peterson getting into a little bit of trouble. Obviously, walking Rojas earlier on 5 pitches was not great. Ohtani, I guess, was bound to get a hit there, but then, Betts being on top of your changeup. But, like I said, these are good hitters. I mean, how do you expect these guys not to get hits, okay, against any pitcher, really? But just like that, you have a 4-run lead cut down to 1, Brian, in just
not good.
Literally, you couldn't even enjoy the 4-run lead necessarily. Brendan Knack does trot out there for the 4th, gets Acuna to line out, but then back-to-back walks will end his night. Obviously not great, but, ultimately the good decision there because, the lack of control, the hits given up. He was getting absolutely tattooed by the Mets lineup. They put in Dryer. So with, 1 out, 2 men on, and this is going to be a little bit of a theme here because there was plenty of times this game the Mets had the door open to tack on some more runs to extend this lead, and the Dodgers were able to slam the door almost every time. This time, one of them, I mentioned 2 runners on, 1 out. Soto gets walked by Dryer to lead off here for Dryer's night. Bases loaded, 1 out. Alonso strikes out. McNeil flies out. And again, it's not like end of the world here. 1-run lead. You were getting hits. This guy doesn't seem like he's really on top of his stuff here. So you're like, all right, more times will come. More times will come. Bottom of the 4th, Peterson gives up a single to Edman, but then the Mets were able to turn 2 here on a ground out by Hernandez, and then Conforto ground out to end the inning. So Peterson settles down, 3 up, 3 down the next inning, exactly what you want to see here. And again, we'll go to the top of the 5th here with some opportunities here. Taylor first fouls out, so with 1 out, Beatty's able to bunt and reaches on that infield bunt down the third baseline. Great little bunt by Beatty. Love to see that at the plate. Again, if you think about Vientos' ability to bunt, I wouldn't even think about it. Unfortunately, though, you do get Alvarez to ground out to the fielder's choice here. Beatty out at second. Acuna singles, runners on first and second here, but then Nimmo lines out to end the inning. So kind of tough there. Again, plenty of time where the Mets had runners in scoring position but could not get the job done. And I guess we'll fast forward now to the top of the 8th here, where the Mets were able to tack on a little bit of an insurance run. You had Jose Urena pitching for the Dodgers. Another bunt here. So I love the bunt calls here by Mendoza. Acuna does bunt, but does ground out to third. Not the best bunt, kind of popped up a little bit. Definitely wasn't hit the ground as early as he wanted to. Nimmo pops out, so there's 2 outs. Marte hits a double, and then Soto's intentionally walked here, which is obviously a big mistake because you get Alonso to single to right to score Marte. So that makes it 5-3. And then they pull Urena. Vesia comes in. McNeil next to useless. Grounds out to second, ends the inning, but it's 5-3, so you feel good. In comes Reed Garrett, bottom of the 8th here. Reed Garrett has been absolutely lights out, a sub-1 ERA. Last outing, I believe, was game 1, I think, against the Dodgers, where he did, like, walk the bases loaded, had one out, or no outs, actually. Chapman-esque, but then gets back-to-back-to-back strikeouts to get out of his own jam.
Back.
But it's still like, I don't know, man. I mean, not that I lost trust in him, but it just seemed like he was teetering on possibly a bad outing. But I don't blame Mendoza for going to Garrett here. Like I said, he's been lights out.
Was there really another option, too? I mean, was there anybody that would
comparable to Garrett out of the bullpen? No.
Stanek?
No. Reed Garrett right now is our best bullpen piece.
Okay.
Hands down, by far. Again, you can try to go to Buto or Brazoban.
Wait, what's the deal? Diaz too many? He just needs some rest.
Yeah, they use him on back-to-back games.
Probably 3 and 4
and then,
games.
3 out of 4 games. So, and I don't know. I probably wouldn't have asked him to get 6 outs, against the Dodgers. It's kind of tough. So, in any case, Reed Garrett comes in here, leadoff walk to Betts, and you're thinking, oh, man, like, here we go again. It's like the last time against the Dodgers. And then Smith doubles to left here, and Betts is able to score on that double. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it was just a bad pitch, I guess. I mean, listen, Will Smith, cutter, kind of on the inside, but he got his hands around. What are you going to do? Hernandez flies out to center, so you have 1 out with Smith on second. And then here's Paez, dude. This was, actually, I guess they don't have this. Oh, I guess they do have it. Paez is second on a wild pitch by Garrett. Sorry, that was after the fact. But in any case, headphones? Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. So Paez here with a really dumb move with Will Smith here on third. Paez grounds out, and listen, honestly, like, this was by no means, like, this should have been an out. All right, it wasn't a bad pitch by Garrett. Honestly, Paez kind of fished for it and was able to get a hard hit ground ball to third base. Okay, and Beatty double clutches to throw to home. I don't know why. And then when he does throw to Alvarez, he like hooks it and it goes in the dirt. Alvarez loses it. Reed Garrett is there to recover the ball, but they're both on top of each other. Will Smith is able just to touch home plate, and Reed Garrett's just sitting there with the ball, couldn't reach home plate, couldn't tag him out. And it was a really, really bad play by Brett Beatty, obviously tying the game here, which should have been the second out of the inning, ends up tying the game here. And it honestly was really shitty to watch, dude, because obviously Beatty has been a breath of fresh air at third base, at the plate. So to see this mistake here, I hope it doesn't, snowball into anything else for Beatty, because we saw him obviously, lose himself a little bit after his rookie season and stuff like that, and obviously ultimately lose the spot of third base to Vientos. So this is a second chance. The error here, which really costed them the game, in my opinion, was really bad, dude. I mean, you can't do that. I don't know. It seemed like, Brian, that because he charged the ball, so he was almost like running with Will Smith down the third baseline, and it seemed like when he picked the ball up, he thought he could just tag Will Smith,
Yeah.
But then that's why he kind of double clutched to see if he can tag him, but then realized he couldn't tag him, and then threw the ball, and then it was just a bad throw. So a little bit of indecision there. Honestly, I mean, you should have never double clutched in the first place, but if he honestly didn't throw the ball, he would have probably tagged Will Smith, because Will Smith stopped because he knew. He was like, oh, I'm going to be out here. Maybe I should go back to third.
Right.
And at that point, he scores. You don't get an out. You're giving the Dodgers extra outs at that point. So that's not good at all. Edman does strike out after this. So again, Reed Garrett, able to dial in, does get him striking out, swinging on a cutter here. Freeman comes in to pinch hit for Hernandez. They walk him intentionally, which was fine. Paez was already on second, actually, after a wild pitch, which really was a missed ball or pass ball, in my opinion. But then here we go. Michael Conforto against the former team, Brian. His last 30 at-bats with runners in scoring position. Guess how many hits he has? 0. Here comes the one, singles to left, scores Paez, 6-5 game. Garrett gets pulled, Waddell comes in. He gets out of the inning, of course, classic. Next batter just popped out the second, ends the inning, but the damage has been done. You go on top of the ninth with Scott pitching here for the Dodgers. Taylor strikes out, Beatty strikes out, Evers gets a single, but then Acuna flies out the center, and the game, 3 outs right there. Dodgers win 6-5. It is a very sad loss. Certainly a series you think you should have split, a series you could have swept, honestly, without some of these defensive mistakes. Listen, I guess you can look at it and look at the good news, and I feel like this time last year, you'd be making these mistakes in a game versus like the Nationals or the Marlins, where you do end up dropping these games to teams under 500 that do hurt you early, later on. This is a series against the Dodgers, a 4-game set. You split it. Okay, that by no means, that still is great. I mean, that's any team that splits against a 4-game set against the Dodgers is good. You'll take that. Obviously, the fashion in the split isn't great, and not for nothing. The fact that it is your fault, that it is, mistakes from your defense that you can just kind of tighten up and clean up throughout the course of the season makes me feel better when you do see these guys, the Dodgers, in the postseason. I mean, not for nothing. Your pitchers proved tremendously against this lineup here. Your bats were on fire. You did exactly what you needed to do offensively, it seemed, against the Dodgers for a second series, mind you. And Peterson was lights out, dude. This season, he has 2 starts against the Dodgers, 6 at-bats against Ohtani, 1 hit given up, and 5 Ks. So he's been dialed in to a batter like Ohtani. I mean, Peterson has been a godsend, and he's been having a great year even outside of the Dodgers, outside of pitching to Ohtani. So you love to see that. The bullpen has been good. Again, Reed Garrett would have gotten himself out of that inning.
Yeah.
So it's obviously tough, but you're on to Colorado. You make up for it. You sweep Colorado, and then everything's good.
You're gonna crack up at this. Nothing to do with what we were talking about.
What?
But do you have anything solid here? I'm getting the tea nauseous again.
Oh, you want food?
Yeah, just anything, like a cracker, piece of bread,
Yeah,
something. I know this sounds ridiculous, but
it does not sound ridiculous.
I literally I'm gonna make it, but I'm running out of here. Maybe if there was a water bottle there too, that wouldn't be the worst thing. I know this is crazy, everyone, but I'll be good. Of course, Tony leaves the camera on me.
Good?
Yeah, just get
water.
Yeah. Thank you.
Brian Barnaby, dude. Probably should have left it on the wide when I left. I don't know what happened there, but listen. I am that upset, honestly, just like Brian is honest about the Mets. It does make me want to puke. Some of these losses, but like I said, you're on to the next, dude. Oh, poor you, says Ernie. Whoa, Josh M, by the way, thank you for being a newest member. Congrats or welcome to the very exclusive club here, the DTV fam. Listen, dude, if it was the Yankees losing in this fashion, you'd feel the same way. You don't want to see your team lose like that, shoot themselves in the foot. After all the work they've put in, like Lindor's killed it this series, like Alonso's been killing it this series. You're going to see for the first time you're seeing Soto look pretty fucking happy, So you want to see these guys get the dub after, all this time and all the nonsense they've even been through this season. And to come out on the other end of this, though, with splitting the series, splitting the series. And like I said, 39 wins, tied for the second best record in baseball here. That's exactly what you want. All right. And like I said, 7 games set against the Dodgers, I feel confident in the playoffs. I really do, dude. If this team is exactly the same, which again, I would imagine the bats are, obviously by then you'd have some more reinforcements in your rotation and your bullpen. I'm sure the Dodgers will as well, as they've been riddled with injuries and stuff like that for their pitching staff. So, you feel really good, dude. About a championship series against the Dodgers or any playoff series, dude.
Played him tough, won the season series.
Yeah.
You asked for him. Couple things there, though. First of all, it's amazing. I already feel completely normal.
Did you not? When's the last time you eat anything?
I had a protein bar within the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
But also, fuck tea. Like, I don't understand why this always happens to me. It's never happened to you?
I can't say that it has. Me, I don't know. I don't know why empty stomach
Like,
tea. I don't know. It's
bad.
weird.
Like, this was even worse than yesterday.
Really?
Like this was like, if I kept sitting here without anything, like, I think I might have just thrown up.
That's wild.
But now, completely fine. And also forgot how good Nutter Burgers were.
They're so good, right? Like ridiculously good.
Ernie, could you elaborate here? Or unless Tony knows what you're talking about. It's the gains asking to be gained. Barnes equals jacked.
Well, because like in order to gain muscle, you got to eat food,
But
dude.
Ernie,
You know.
I haven't lifted anything other than a bundle of shingles in like, I don't know, a couple months at least.
Shingles are pretty heavy.
No, but I mean, I haven't been working out at the gym. Just cardio.
Elliptical.
I honestly could eat these whole, like, how good are Nutter Burgers, right?
Favorite, dude, and so they're so low key, like underrated. You know.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to, though, like, kind of getting some ideas, Ernie, JD. Because you know what I feel like you probably get this kind of thing too. Like when people talk about weight loss and stuff, and they're like always like, oh yeah, just portion control. But it's like, well, like, how do you actually, I feel like I've never had like the perfect medium. Like I could like do like what you're recommending.
Right.
But then it always ends up being like tough to get through the night, stomach growling all night. I mean, I'm sure you've, right? I mean,
yeah, dude. And then honestly, the nights aren't even that bad. It's like when I wake up. It's the morning after where it's like your stomach was just rumbling all night while you were sleeping and you wake up hungry. Nothing worse than waking up hungry. Like, it's such an odd feeling to have. Like you said, it does, like, sometimes I do, you know, there is a sense of nausea that does set in, you know? So you got to figure it out, dude.
what do you think about, so 225 pounds was the total for Ernie. That's crazy.
That is wild.
Last second help, choose slower first step, slower and more, hungry, drink water. Definitely drink a ton of water. That's not a problem, Ernie. But you know what's also something funny too, which is just, I know this just sounds ridiculous, and it's like, well, I mean, like, what are you doing? But like, you know how people always like the slower thing and like the little bites. Like, is it just me though, Tony? And again, it's like, what's the priority here? But does it not taste better when you have a bigger bite versus a small bite? If you eat little tiny bites, it's like just not satisfying.
No, I mean, honestly, I totally agree. And I don't know if it is like, if that's like a scientific thing. But even like even if you have like a plate of food where I give a side and like an entree, like a steak and broccoli, like when you put it all on your fork at once, like that's sick.
And then, you know, having to hear, growing up, it's not going anywhere. You know, those type of things. Did you ever get that or no?
I don't
or you
think
probably
so.
never really were at. Like, would you honestly say like me, like you've never seen anybody shovel faster or no?
No, I've seen people eat very fast,
Michael
like
Butka?
you. Actually, I guess I really haven't noticed Michael Butka.
But he definitely
does.
hammers it. Yeah.
But no, but it is. I don't eat that fast. I don't think. Sometimes I do. Like if I'm really starving, I'll hammer it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
And then Ernie also says you don't have to quote unquote bite small, just chew longer. You get full faster, which means portion control.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So you know what it is? Yeah. It's like, I guess it's just one of those things. I mean, I don't know how else to sum it up, where it's like you have to do some stuff that, you know, you're not used to in order to, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, obviously, we've talked about this many times. Like, it's so annoying that all the good stuff just can be good for you. You can just eat what you want.
I know,
be fine.
dude. God forbid.
It's a run would be enough,
dude.
Right?
I know,
you
right?
30
It should.
beers, but you had to run, so you're okay.
If only, dude.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm pretty sure my health teacher in high school told us that your body needs to chew 30 times. Like, for your brain. Literally. And, dude, I remember kids in the fucking cafeteria would be counting every time. And it's like, dude, could you imagine, like, chewing 30 times is ridiculous.
It is.
Ridiculous.
So I'm fully confident, though. I think I got some good people to lean on here. Ernie, JD. So it'll happen.
Dude.
It'll happen. We're overdue for it, honestly. We're overdue for it. And then Ernie's saying that it looks like you check your caloric intake every day.
Caloric. I would say I don't, dude. I mean, the diet is not good.
Yeah.
But I do. Portion control has been something I've been more on top of, having less of. You know, maybe not 8 slices of pizza, but like maybe 4 slices.
Now,
of pizza,
are you able to do that when you're drinking?
Yes. And
that's impressive.
Well, because it's kind of funny, because if it's while I'm drinking, I'm like kind of conscious of like, I don't want to overeat because then I'll be like too full of drink.
And that's one thing too. And again, it makes sense. And everybody always says this, and I think maybe we've talked about this before. For some reason, that's never applied to me. Like I could have a whole large pizza, 2 large pizzas, 3 slices, and I would drink just as much if I ate.
But it wouldn't be like, oh God, I gotta have another beer, you know?
Because it's like if that's what we were doing, like I'm just gonna do it. And it's not.
I mean, I've gotten through it, but boy, is it like tough.
Everybody else says it. I'm the only one. Everybody else says, "Oh, just so full, I can't like drink." But essentially, I don't know. But then you strike me as someone that could always just go. I feel like it doesn't affect you that much compared to what everyone else is saying.
Maybe not, but it's like I feel it. I definitely feel the difference.
But you still do it, though, is what I'm saying.
Sometimes you have to, you know.
So like I said, we'll definitely get into that. Just feels like it's time, you know.
Yes, dude.
But then again, it was time a couple of years ago, so I guess maybe this time will be
Be
different.
careful,
right?
the summer, you know.
Summer, drinking. And then Buckta says, Tony, I have your back if someone bullies you. You're
Thank
a
you,
great
Michael.
guy, don't deserve to be bullied.
Thank you, Buckta.
Little indirect Jimbo comment.
I think maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Brothers squabbling.
It happens.
Stuff. You're familiar with it yourself.
Oh
right?
yeah. Especially, I mean, I'm the younger brother too, Michael. So it's like, I used to hear from my older brother. You know?
And then he says, I got you, Tony. But picks updated. What do we got?
Oh yes, dude, you tied actually. I had a horrible night.
3-3.
I went 2-4. You did the old 4-2. Pick up 2 games.
Oh, there we go.
We're both 34 and 38 now.
All right.
So just like that, dude, we got ourselves a ball game, baby.
And back to having amnesia.
Not that it wasn't.
And Ernie also says Selleck didn't have brothers.
That's pretty funny, Ernie. And then Buckta, what are we munching on? Nutter
Butter family side. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole thing's gone. Hopefully it's not.
Do it.
Anyway, who's up first? Picks was?
I believe it is you. I think I went first yesterday. Remember, because the old we're gonna go to the Bronx, but then we didn't.
Yes. So let's do another MLB 6-pack pick segment brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm. So obviously I'll bat lead off here.
Absolutely,
and
you will.
Go to the Bronx. We mentioned the Battle of the W's. Will Warren versus Walker Buehler. The bloated ERAs. The total of 8.5. The Yankees minus 200 favorites here. Going for 9 out of 10. Series first matchup. Boston this year. First week of June. That hasn't happened too much in the Yankees history. It's a rivalry game. Obviously, Boston struggling a little bit here at 4 under. But like I said, I think some runs scored early here. And I think we chased Walker. He's probably pulled in the 4th.
Yeah.
Probably chased him for 5 runs over like 4 1/3. I think Warren will give us 5 1/3, giving up 3 runs. We score 10, hitting 4 home runs. I think Aaron Judge, 5th inning granny. Judge, total bases, home run, all that. Ernie, maybe a live bet if he gets walked the first plate appearance. And I think Jazz again. Jazz is dialed. Jason Dominguez, come on. So those are some good bets for Ernie there. But I think at the end of the day, it's Yankees 10-5. So easily hitting the over. Yankees and the over.
Great pick there. Next off, we're going to go to another late night action here for the Mets in Colorado. They're taking on the Rockies here this weekend. We said it earlier. Senga on the mound here. Last time against the Rockies last week, I guess. At Citi Field, 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks was his line. I say he goes the distance. Give me 7 innings for him. I think he's operating on an extra day off now. And then I would say maybe a solo home run given up, but it is Colorado. Who knows? Strikes out 9, though. So 6 innings, 1 run for him, and he'll be matched up against Antonio Senzatella, who pitched against the Yankees, right?
Yes.
They do,
Go to it. I think we hit him. We should have.
Antonio. Looks like he was hit up on the Mets and the Yankees here. 4 1/3 against the Yankees, 4 earned runs. 4 against the Mets, 7 earned runs with 2 home runs given up at Citi. I mean, dang, dude. I say he gives up 3 homers in his own park, dude. The 7.14 ERA pitcher gets tattooed. I say he goes 4 innings again, 6 earned runs, maybe 2 strikeouts. The over-under, I should double check if it's not like fucking 15. 10.5? I don't know. I think Mets score 9, give up 2. All right, so we'll say Mets and the over here for this first game against the Rockies.
All right. Boy, these Nutter Butters, I swear.
Crack.
Now, do you like the wafer type or no?
I do. I love the wafer type, yeah.
You think better? Like, I think this is great, but I'm just saying between the two, or you like this one better?
The original, yeah. Like the original.
Did the wafer one?
So
Because
good, dude. Love the wafer.
I don't know what it was. Like, this is probably 20 years ago because we always used to get these for the car rides.
Nice.
And for some reason, it didn't seem like the wafer ones were as readily available. I'm sure, obviously, now you can get them at a moment's notice, but maybe it was different back then. But we will go to number two, and I guess it's just because, I have a lot of screens up on my computer, so a little improvision here. Okay, no, we are going to load. So a couple different places to go.
We're gonna load.
But you know what? I will go with the Tigers. John Pollock, Scubal,
Wow.
175. Cubs very good, but I just think the competition here. Step up in competition. Highly motivated tickets. 142 Comerica Park. You don't usually see that, but obviously because the Cubs go to the Tigers once a year, or once every other year. But yeah, I think even though they just lost to the White Sox, I think they come back with a vengeance. I think Scubal, 7 innings, 12 Ks, only 1 earned run. Labor Torres, 5th inning, grand slam. So Ernie prop bet here. Tigers, 4-1. Tigers and the under.
Tigers and the under. I'm gonna put that down actually. Tigers. Under. All right, next game here. I guess we're gonna go to Sacramento. I guess you mentioned the Orioles, dude. Seemingly doing pretty well. A 6-game winning streak, 8-2 in their last 10, dude. They're now 5 games back of the Red Sox, which is kind of crazy here. They're facing off this weekend against the A's of Sacramento. That is first time this season. JP Sears towing the slab for the A's. I think it was against Houston. 3 innings, 9 earned runs, dude. Getting absolutely popped. I think the Orioles bats stay hot. Cedric Mullins, 2 homers for a total of 12 on the season tonight. Give me the Orioles. Hammer the over as well. Dean Creamer on the Orioles. Not great. 4.70 ERA. So I say Orioles take this one. I'm going to say like 7-4. O's in the over.
7th straight.
7th straight, baby.
Kind of crazy. All right. And then let's see here. Last pick
That was tough, dude.
of the night. You know what I hate too on the phone version? It doesn't show you
the
who's
pictures.
pitching,
Yeah, I
which
know.
is
It's
just
so annoying.
nuts, but I guess this
MLB
actually
app.
can load
Yeah.
pretty well. Give me the Royals over the White Sox. I know
Seth
they
Lugo.
won those games. Seth Lugo. Another solid year so far. 3.45 earned run average. Royals, if they fall out of it, that's the guy that could get dealt. Teams looking for pitching. Even the Yankees, you'd be a good pitcher to get. But they're minus 160 here. I think Lugo, 6 innings, 1 earned, maybe 8 Ks. Bobby Witt hitting for the cycle. Tony, how about that?
Wow.
And I think the Royals all over the White Sox here. Royals in the over 10-1.
10-1. Royals in the over, dude. Royals over. Last game here for me. Oh, gosh, dude. I mean, the Twins of Minnesota here. Minnesota. Obey. I guess. I hate that, dude. You know what? Why not, dude? Let's go with Minnesota here. Target Field will be hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays undecided out there against Bailey Ober, dude. Bailey here boasting a 4-1 record with a 3.48 ERA. He has, I guess, not a ton of strikeouts here, but limiting the home run ball. Only 7 homers given up this year, which I guess is okay. Blue Jays have had some bright spots, winning 4 of the last 5 weeks, taking 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, dude, putting a 9 spot up on the Phillies. Watch out. But I say Maybe Toronto's bats stay hot. Bailey, 6 innings, maybe 3 or 4 earned runs. But the Twins put up a 7 spot here on the Blue Jays. I don't know who the undecided guy will be, but he's not going to be good. They go on to win this game. I'll say 7-4. Give me Twins and the over, Brian.
And just like that, there's your MLB 6-pack pick segment here. So another weekend upon us, and I have to say, hopefully I can get into the stadium with this whole game time situation. But so pumped. Tomorrow, Yankees, Red Sox, me and Matt, Arthur Ave, before the health kick starts.
The caloric intake.
One more, and then the tailgate, and then
Oh
that'll
my
be it.
God.
And then the beach
Oh,
bash.
and then the beach bash.
And then Mad Dog.
Oh my God.
And then vacation.
Yeah.
And then the golf tour. Oh, what do you know? Anyway, no, I'm pumped, honestly. And I think this is an opportunity for the Yankees to get a sweep, and especially against the Red Sox. That would be pretty sweet. But got to start one game at a time. And Ambrell, too. First Yankee, Ryan Yarborough start I get to see. So I'm sure he's going to be having those hitters off balance, all those different arm angles. We already have it up. Time to do another edition of the Immaculate Grid. Hopefully, Yerny still with us here. But
Do you got anyone?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Bottom right,
Bottom right.
a favorite of mine.
Really?
Morgan Ensberg. Do you remember Morgan Ensberg?
I don't think so, dude.
He was on like the Brad Lidge Astros, Lance Berkman.
Okay,
those type of
Morgan.
guys.
Spelled Morgan.
Yeah.
Ensberg,
Short career.
baby. 0.3.
And then also, middle left, Bobby Abreu.
Bobby. Oh. And we can definitely do Dallas Keuchel for Twin Stros.
Twin Stros. I didn't. Keuchel Stros, huh? I mean, Twins.
Definitely Twins.
When was this? Last
After the Braves. After,
Okay.
yeah.
right.
Like, it may have been, honestly, his last year.
There you go. Nice
2%.
2%.
Bang,
That
dude.
was one I didn't think I was going to get. Mauricio Dubon, third base Astros, bottom left.
Third base, Astros. Bang.
Another one of my favorites.
Dubon.
How about
2%.
for middle bottom, Juan Uribe?
Middle bottom, Juan Uribe. There he is.
And then how about Angels? 100 RBI batting season. Garrett Anderson. Who were you going to say?
Honestly, I was just seeing how much Ohtani would be, to be honest.
I feel like he'd be high.
5%. There we go, dude.
And then 100 RBI season for the
Twins.
I was going to say Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, I mean, Harmon Killebrew, Harmon Killebrew, 4%, dude, for Nelson Cruz. That's a good one, dude.
And then these last two definitely need some help.
I
here.
know, dude.
Angels.
Oh, we could have done Keuchel for Sox Twins as well.
Huh. I don't know. The White Sox always trip me up.
I
And then I'm
know,
thinking about
dude.
Angels.
White Sox.
I feel like I know the Angels from back in the day. Current Angels, a little spotty. What does he say? He says you guys don't need me. Oh, I think we might need you
but
for
these
this.
two,
though,
dude.
honestly.
White Sox Angels, White Sox Twins.
White Sox Twins.
Uh,
I don't know if was Edwin Jackson on the Twins. Yerny, could you help us out?
I wanna
Was
say
Edwin Jackson
yeah.
on the Twins. I know he was on the White Sox. And I don't think he was on the Angels though, right? Edwin Jackson.
I don't think so.
Is
Bart.
Edwin Jackson in play? Bart is Angels, White Sox. Will it be too high?
I don't know.
I mean, we could. I think we'll get some Ernie feedback on this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Twins, Sox, Bartolo Colon. I mean, he
Sox
says to go
Twins.
Colon.
Okay.
All right.
Sox Twins. Bart.
I forgot Bart was on the Twins.
He's been on a million teams, dude.
4%.
4%, not bad.
All right, so this Angels, White Sox. Was Edwin Jackson, Ernie?
Edwin Jackson.
On the Angels? It's not 100% sure on that one. Sean Figgins, was he on the White Sox? Orlando Cabrera.
Orlando Cabrera. That was
do
what
it.
he said? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cabrera. Orlando. Bang. 23.
There
23 and
we
me.
go. 23 and me. So, wow.
That was a good one, dude.
Yeah, nice Ernie assist there at the end.
Clean.
Putting on the finishing touches.
I guess there must be a lot of Angels White Sox because Bart was the highest at 13%,
Wow.
which is really low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Robin Ventura.
But it's funny, like we couldn't think of any. Well, I guess there's like a ton.
I guess there's a ton, dude.
Yeah.
I guess we could look it up if we wanted to.
Yeah.
148.
I mean, we're professionals at this point. Aren't
We are pros, dude.
we? And just taking a look here, Champ is still in. What does he say?
He said, "No, you're wrong, Barnes."
Oh, what about Edwin Jackson?
Jackson, yeah.
Okay. Cameron Champ, still in the lead here, 12 under, 2 clear of Olsen and De Solar. The leaders from yesterday, De Solar has moved from 1 over to 1 under through 9, starting on the back. Ryan Fox, 4 back, 8 under, 4 under today through 13. Starting on the back, Jake Knapp, 1 under through 14, 8 under, 4 back. And then Rasmuth Hogard, I picked Nikolai but as a sleeper. Rasmuth, 7 under through 15. Shane Lowry, 7 under, 1 under through 12. Denny Willett, former Masters champ, 6 under, 16. Adam Hadwin, 5 under, 2 under through 13. And I mean, I guess that's really where we're at the Canadian Open. Corey Connors is also 3 unders, but there were some Canadians lurking yesterday. Pendrith was at the top. I wonder actually where he ended up. He ended up finishing here. 5 under. Okay, so he's 7 back right now, but hasn't teed off yet. So who knows? He could work himself back into into the competition here.
Wow, we just missed a birdie putt.
That being said, I'm sure he's tight. Let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Oh.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle, That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide! Made the full split save!
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights!
Like a car sick.
Oh, God, dude. It just like hits you hard.
Black tea never
Just starts
again, just like
sweating.
game time right now, right?
Yes.
Anyhow, we do have game 2 tonight, and it's crazy the timing on all these things. I feel like there's just no game where it's like, oh, Yankees off, I'm just chilling or at a bar able to watch the game. But like tonight, chilling with Sam, Yankees playing. Probably not going to get a chance, even though I know everyone's lauding the great play between Florida and Edmonton.
Would you really be watching though? Because didn't.
What do you mean?
Like, would you really be dialed into this game?
No. If there was an opportunity, but I'm not going out of my way for it. Is what
Right.
I'm saying.
That's right. Yeah.
Are you gonna be watching or Mets?
Yeah, definitely.
Mets though.
Oh yeah, Mets too. I would imagine by late night bar,
You're gonna be
multiple
horseshoe
TVs.
tonight.
Probably, I guess, right?
Yeah. But then you're the only one watching.
Yeah, I guess. Probably, right.
Horseshoe doesn't seem like a hockey bar.
Well, I'm just trying to think too. Well, I guess if the Mets and the Yankees are on, I guess. But still, they'll be. I'll request the TV.
Yeah.
Come on.
A Friday night, Dean or no?
I want to say maybe Jeff
Okay.
and Erica, maybe. Is what I would say. We were there last night, Mike and I.
Who was that? Who was working?
Kyle was working.
Kyle. I thought
Kyle.
Kyle was done.
He's back.
Full time?
Yeah, I think he's got like maybe a week left or whatever. They'll be back full time.
Wow. That's kind of nuts.
It is pretty
That
crazy.
was quick. I mean, it seems like you just had like the send off.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, I just saw this right now. DeBoer fired.
No, I did not see that, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, they've struggled to close it out, you know?
Oh, there we go.
Where else has he
Spelling today,
coached?
dude. Nashville, I'm pretty sure. I think New Jersey too. Let's look it up, dude. Oh no, the coaching. Florida Panthers, Jersey Devils, the Sharks, the Knights, the Stars. So,
Wow.
I mean, a lot of places here, obviously, and
I mean, they had the talent. They trade for Rantanen. I mean, do you agree with it, or I mean, what do you think here?
That's pretty crazy. This Wikipedia is already updated too, with him being fired.
You think they go with Laviolette?
No, I don't think so,
No.
dude. I mean, you're talking about like what 3 consecutive his third consecutive loss in the conference finals. So, I mean, like, I don't know. This guy has had a good product. He puts the Stars through, a great regular season. I think at the end of the day, which, I mean, I guess we saw, honestly, a similar situation with Tibbs here where it's like,
that's what I was just thinking of.
The coach is good. He gets you to a right spot. But at what point do you sit here and say that, well, the players weren't showing up,
Right.
And that's exactly what I said last season. The players just did not show up, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, I feel like, against the Oilers here, like you blew it. Rantanen was nowhere to be found. Obviously Robertson neither. Rupe Hintz. I mean, all these guys kind of went a little quiet here, a little fizzed out almost. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's tough because, I mean, obviously, like you said, they made additions to the roster. They brought in other guys, and you're still not making it. So, I mean, I guess this would be the next best thing. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily start dropping these guys, I guess.
Right.
I mean, it's something you're older for some guys like Sagan too. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess time will tell, but I mean, this guy's going to get picked up by somebody, for sure.
Breaking news.
What do you got?
The ticket transfer has come through. Game time, 2 tickets, Yankees, Red Sox, section 232A, row 9, seat 9 and 10, Tony. So, thank goodness, sweating it out over 24 hours. I'll still go back to Game Time, though, just because I feel like they do have the best deals. I don't know if you've, in the past, used them. I don't think you got the Mets tickets this year.
I'm pretty sure I did, I thought.
It was from Game Time.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Was that your first time, or you've used them?
Maybe my
times?
4th time or 5th time, something like that.
I think they do, especially if you're looking for just like where you randomly will be like really good seats for like a lot less. I feel like versus the other sites, especially Ticketmaster has shit.
Yeah, fuck Ticketmaster, fuck StubHub too.
Yep.
No, yeah, like I mentioned, 5 times using it. It's been the past 5 times I've bought tickets. It's been through Game Time. So
yeah,
that's
I
the place.
feel like the
It's the
interface, right?
Oh yeah, very user friendly.
Yeah.
Nice interface. Very good job. Good job.
So
And I'm glad everything worked out.
Yeah, just
you
so
can
nice.
relax.
It's just there.
Yes.
Like, that was very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Weighing on you, dude.
Yeah. So we'll see what the Stars do. Also, what's your thoughts on Quinn joining Sullivan's staff?
I mean, I guess that's good, It's interesting because, we talked about Tortorella being a part of Mike Sullivan's staff and vice versa,
Right.
In the past. So, I don't know. I guess I'm maybe a little bit surprised. I mean, I guess it's, Quinn will be back with the Rangers, which is good, but I don't know. He never really, wowed me when he was the coach. So, I mean, listen, if Sullivan wants him, they gel well, they mesh well together, then it's going to be good for them. It's going to be good for Sullivan, good for the team here. As Lowry tees off here as he's tied for 6, 7 under still on this par 4, missing the fairway, a little bit outside the fairway in the rough, and there is that patented head shake and Irish.
Things are going awry.
Yeah, looks like it, dude.
And I did see on here also that Ernie had said that the 12 tickets are from Game Time, $30 each. Yeah, I mean that's what I was talking about before. I don't know if Ernie was tuned in when I was talking, but it's just I'm convinced. I mean, you wait till day before, day of. It's like it's crazy because I've monitored this situation many times. Opening day too for the Yankees. I had gotten those, I don't know, maybe a month out, and definitely want to say price must have went down $30-$40 a ticket. So just crazy.
That's
how that
crazy,
works.
though.
But now I just know. I just know. I mean, it's just like I really, other than the World Series, I don't really see a situation where you would get a good deal on a ticket. I mean,
Ahead of time, you mean?
Especially well ahead of time, like weeks ahead of time. I don't see it.
No, yeah, I totally agree. But I don't know. I mean, for an opening day, I think I would buy my ticket ahead of time. Dude?
I mean, dude. But also, honestly, I can't agree with that. Just because also the Mets, dude. The Mets was supposed to be $200 to get in.
That was wild.
100 or less.
I think it was 75, 77 a ticket.
Bro, it was 200.
Yeah.
So I mean, there
imagine
you go.
Imagine
right
like
there.
Be kicking yourself.
To sit like way up.
Yeah.
On top of it too. Kind of nuts.
I'm so pumped for the 12th, dude.
Yeah. No, gonna be absolutely ridiculous.
Legendary. I hope the weather will be good. I haven't looked ahead.
It's gonna be steamy.
Really?
Yeah. But at least Publicans,
AC.
I'll check again right now, but last I checked, it was like 85. Yep, 86.
Shorts, the Burks, maybe
Burks.
too. Dude.
I don't know how you don't wear those, and those things don't just like the sweat just is soaked into the shoe. Feet don't sweat that much?
Not as much, I guess.
Dude, my feet,
If I'm just like walking around and stuff, we'll be
like
fine.
I would say on average, like me getting new shoes, the logo on the bottom, a couple days, gone.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why I need like 7 pairs of shoes to really have like where like they don't get that sand or not washing them.
Oh,
it's such
my
a pain.
God. It's so
Such a pain.
annoying, dude.
But yeah, we were talking about the finals game 2.
That's right.
What are you thinking? Any bounce back scenario here for Florida?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, Florida is a team of adjustments. Maurice, obviously great coach. The Panthers know exactly what they're into. And I know, the overtime winner, Draisaitl 2 goals, the comeback as well. I mean, those are things that obviously would, I guess, maybe hinder another team's, mental game, but not the Panthers, I don't think, dude. I mean, they're going to be dialed in. They're going to make those adjustments, and they're on to the next game. I mean, that's as simple as the Panthers work, for sure. And honestly, listen, it's going to be close probably. I just don't see the Oilers, coming back. I think they're going to trail early, and they're going to keep trailing. Maybe they'll keep it close. But I think we're looking at, a 4-2, 5-3 victory by the Panthers. Again, making those adjustments on defense, not getting sucked in, to a single player, not allowing, people being open, or Oilers specifically being open in the middle of the ice in front of Bobrovsky. Maybe Bobrovsky himself kind of cleans up a little bit of his issues. We talked about one of those goals given up were something he should have been able to save. And I think their offense just sticks true. I mean, you've gotten to Skinner. What was it? The final score was 4-3 last game, right? 4-3. Yeah. You got past him 3 times on the power play. Brad Marchand looked good. Obviously, Sam Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe. I'd like to see Barkov get on the score sheet tonight. I think he's due for a goal and assist. I'm sure we'll see Marchand on the score sheet again. And honestly, dude, if I were the Panthers too, I mean, I know you're playing a hard game down low and you're playing very physical. I would take some more shots from the point. I feel like they don't do that very often, or didn't do that game 1 often. Just try and challenge Skinner from that aspect and try to get more bodies in front of him to deflect, get dirtier goals. That I feel would give them more opportunities, and just another way to challenge Skinner. I feel like Skinner hasn't really been, even though he had some big saves down low off of rebounds and stuff like that, didn't really seem like he was fighting through screens or much traffic, to navigate his pucks, or his saves, I should say. So I would say that would be my strategy from the Panthers. And I'm not just saying that because I'm rooting for the Panthers to win this one. I do think this is going to be a back and forth series. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 7. 7.
Still confident in Florida though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cup. You do have to admit one thing, like just this specific matchup aside, the Cup is due to return to its native land. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Is it the longest drought ever? It has to be.
For Canada to win the Cup?
It has to
I
be.
would think so. Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, it seems like the stars are aligning for that.
I guess.
It's going to be interesting. I know, and maybe I'm jinxing it, but even if I am jinxing it, Tony, I don't give a fuck, okay? But I'm just saying, the post, McDavid champ, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that conversation if that happens.
Okay,
How
Brian.
it's going to be handled. Okay, Brian.
I mean, it'll just have to be,
It'll be how it'll be,
exactly.
right?
He's going to be having the Cup if that's the case, and they won. That's great, and
There we go.
Good for Knobloch.
Onward and upward.
Yeah.
But speaking of good for Knobloch, I'm going to say 5-2 tonight. And another Ernie prop bet. Take McDavid for 2 points. Definitely a goal and an assist. And I know Corey's dialed into the finals as well. He was texting me the other day, and I was just telling him, sorry, it just doesn't have that juice for me, given the way the Rangers season ended. But I'm hoping Sullivan, Quinn on the bench, and also too, I can't wait for the hockey offseason to start. Seems like the Rangers season ended 3 years ago.
It does seem like that.
Are you expecting a lot of change this offseason, roster wise? More so than recent years, or
I guess maybe more so than recent years.
But it just goes back to your question, the ability to trade these contracts?
Yeah. We'll see what Drury does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
A lot on the line.
I mean, that's what I mean. A lot on the line. He could get pretty drastic in his decision making in terms of moving guys around. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. But right now, I'm not anticipating much personnel changes because of those contracts. So we'll see what happens. But I'm hopeful. Just like you two, I am earning for the NHL offseason to see what moves are made here. Lowry, it looks like he overshoots the green, maybe? Just on the tip of the green here. Corey's a big Islander fan, right?
Yes.
Have you talked about the Islanders recently?
I mean, just about the draft pick
Yeah.
in the lottery. But that's it. And Wah staying, that was surprising. Right?
Yeah. Wow, dude.
So, yeah, I know I'm sure he can't wait for that. But let's take a quick trip here to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right. Game 1, NBA Finals last night. What do you know? Halliburton late game winner, 0.3 on the clock. And I had to say, I didn't, the game was on, they had the sound on, but obviously I was just so dialed into the Yankee game. But I did hear the highlight this morning. Halliburton puts it in, and there's only 0.3 on the clock. That was a patented Mike Breen call. I have to say that.
It was great.
It was good to hear that.
It was.
And what did Josh B say?
F the Pacers. Tight, salty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. Was it 15 down in the fourth or no?
It must
down?
have been 15 down. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Pull it up in the
111,
fourth.
110.
Where's the final score?
And it's interesting too with Halliburton how like he's not scoring like 40 points a game, but he's just hitting big shots all postseason. It was 15 down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They were, dude. They were, I think even with like 4 or 5 minutes in the fourth, they were down by like 7 or 10 or something like that.
Does it almost make you feel like Destiny, Team of Destiny?
I mean, I don't know about Destiny, dude. I mean, I
Carlisle, been there before.
Yes, and I don't know. I also feel like too. I mean, OKC. I feel like with the year they had, it's more. It seems like a destiny for them, you know, sort of deal. But
Must-win game 2.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I feel like this Pacers team, almost like this game, dude. I mean, it's kind of funny. Mike and I were watching the game during when we were at the Horseshoe last night, actually. So,
People watching or
it's actually kind of funny, dude. We drove to the Horseshoe. Kind of thought like chill night. Maybe Jeff was reworking, whatever. Kyle was actually working last night, but which is still great. But I guess the train got stuck at the Southport train station, which you know is a stone's throw.
I saw the article.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that; it was the whole
the
New
wire.
Haven to New
Yeah,
York.
the
I
wire
wonder if
came
it's back
down.
up running. I don't know. I'm gonna.
I would think so.
I hope so for tomorrow.
I mean, they must have
train.
been. They must have had overnight workers, like or something like that. You
Right.
gotta. But so there was like all these dudes, like these middle-aged guys, like in their suits and their work
Coming back,
gear,
yeah.
like that. Just were like, oh, we're stuck here. Might as well walk over to the Horseshoe. So that was kind of funny. But they were all like, they weren't dialed into the game or anything. But Mike and I were, which was kind of funny because again, Mike wanted to watch it, so I was like, all right, I was kind of tuning in, you know, checking the score, whatever. And it was pretty crazy because that first half, I mean, Pacers had 20 turnovers that first half, which
That's
is
insane.
the most in a finals game. And they said since like 88 or 89, I think, 89. And for them still to tighten up that second half, I think they had only 5 turnovers in the second half, 20 in the first half. So again, that second half adjustment for the Pacers was great, but I feel like also OKC to that point, I feel like the whole game or most of the game, they were maintaining like a 7 to 10 point lead, but really not going much further beyond that. Not like really, again, like you say, down by 15 going to the fourth, but it just never felt like they were able to keep that, you know,
Right.
because of the back and forth. I just feel like the Pacers were just able to kind of hang around. Which is why they're able to go on that run in the fourth quarter. And obviously the Halliburton, the deep 2, to put them up 1 with 0.3 on the clock. I mean, that's exactly how you draw it up, dude. And there was, I forget, I want to say, oh man, who the hell was it that had like an absolute air ball? I think it was maybe Neesmith. I think Neesmith had like an air ball on a 3, but somebody was there for the rebound and just like put it in for 2 to put them within 3, I think, or within 1 towards the end of the game. It's like that's a big board that OKC could have had. I think with I think to put them in 6 too. I think Siakam had a big 3 to put them in 6, and he was just like wide open in the corner. So it was like a few defensive breakdowns, I feel like, by the Thunder. But again, I mean, you gotta nod your head to the Pacers for coming up with this dub. I mean, that is kind of like a momentum swinging thing.
Yeah,
you know?
no, they were referencing Game 1 against the Knicks. We'll see if it has that impact in this series. Game 2 on Sunday. So we'll see if the Thunder can even up things. Cristobal Solar, another birdie, 1 back of champ right now. Olsen dropping a shot to 9 under with Ryan Fox. Just picked up another birdie. A little bit of a heater today. 5 under through 15 after shooting 66 yesterday. Lowry remains 4 back at 8 under.
What do you think here, though? Do you think like you're rethinking a little bit? Maybe Pacers have a chance here because we kind of the other day were almost like, it's kind of going to be chalk.
All up to this game. If the Pacers win Game 2.
But if they don't win, you think OKC has it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a momentum shifter. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I know the Pacers, that Game 3, and then they ended up losing to the Knicks. Same type of thing happened, but different situation. But you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it comes down to that. So Pacers are a team to reckon with. We'll see. That'd be something if they were able to win. Obviously, Knicks fans not rooting for that. But
No,
we'll see what happens on Sunday. And then this was kind of funny. So obviously we all saw the news, and I mean we all expected it to happen, but just finally the official word. Rodgers, Steelers yesterday, and then Ernie is always good with these Facebook posts, and I don't know if you saw this, but it was like a meme of Rodgers signing with the Steelers, and he was like, the meme was saying, Rodgers signing with the Steelers is like you banging your high school crush when she's 40 and has 4 kids.
Oh.
Good one. Honestly.
No, that is pretty
Ernie's
good.
always good for one of those.
Classic,
I'm sure he appreciates the shout out on that.
Of course, dude.
The content from Ernie on social media. But that being said, I mean, what do you think about? I think honestly, it's gonna work well. I understand Enigma, Rodgers, and mess with the Jets, all that. But I think it's gonna work just because the Steelers. Despite Rodgers not the same guy right now, a little dramatic this and that. But I know Tomlin runs a tight ship. And I just feel like in an organization that's buttoned up, you're going to get the best out of Aaron Rodgers. And I think he's highly motivated. And with that defense, probably the best defense he's had in his career, I think he's going to do great.
Yeah. No. I mean, I do agree with that. I mean, the Steelers are a good team. Last year I think they surprised a lot of people. And I think they're continuing to surprise people with their decisions in the offseason, not for nothing here. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you mentioned what's his name running a tight ship?
Tomlin,
yeah. Mike Tomlin running a tight ship. I mean, don't you think that is like, I don't know. I mean, do you think Rodgers will be down with that? Yeah, like.
You want to retire? He wants to play. He doesn't want to go out like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
you think Tomlin's the guy though to put his foot down, and Rodgers is like going to kind of step off a little bit?
I mean, you have to say, as arrogant as Rodgers is, I mean, you have to respect Mike Tomlin. He's been at this a long time. I know he hasn't won a playoff game in 9 years, but I mean, he's got a track record. He's won a Super Bowl, and the team's always competitive. So you would think he has to respect that. It's a little different than Robert Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich as coach.
Do you think Steelers are going to go further than they did this year with Rodgers than last year?
Book it.
All right. Book it.
Not that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they will win a playoff game finally, ending the drought. Texted Choker. He didn't know. He knew it was happening, but didn't know the official news. Texted him and seemed a little upset about it. Just because the
rightfully
diva,
so, dude.
Terry
yeah.
Bradshaw calling him out too before all of this that he
Really?
doesn't want him on the organization. And then Boomer and Gio were joking oh yeah, you don't have to worry about him asking for Terry's number. Obviously that's not happening.
Oh God, dude.
How ridiculous would it be though? Like playoff game. I guess it wouldn't be playoff game, but I don't know if Rodgers does make the Super Bowl. Or actually, I don't know if Fox has it. I don't think they do because Brady just had the Super Bowl. But if there was just some situation like with a game with Bradshaw and he was had to interview Rodgers, that'd be must watch TV,
dude.
Wow, Ernie saying
Fascinating.
Steelers 4-12. I think that's a little ridiculous. Not 4-12, no way.
4-12 is really bad.
Yeah,
but I mean, you think Rodgers even stays healthy all year?
Yeah,
you think you get full season, all good?
Yeah. This is Steelers. The Steelers are buttoned up. I mean, they're the model of the consistency.
That's right.
They're the antithesis, Tony, of the New York Jets.
The epitome.
Yeah, Jay offended somewhere, but not really because he knows the deal.
Yeah, he knows the deal.
As do I. So, yeah. So that's that is really where we're at. But big weekend ahead, big week ahead as well with the tailgate on the 12th. So
Kinda
pumped
wild.
for that.
Kind of wild.
But yeah, just a great week of shows. And we really appreciate everybody this week who continues to tune in, comment, like, subscribe, check out all the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
And we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.